gotta go. Come with us.
A 6.8 earthquake shakes the west side of the Salt Lake Valley. People are trapped in a 6-story building.
Fifth floor, let's go.
16 students of Fire School 101 team up for the rescue. I grab the stretcher along with Amy Newton of Taylorsville City. On this day of training with the Unified Fire Authority, we learn firsthand what a real scenario might be like.
Is this a dead person?
As we enter the structure, there are bodies lying on several floors. They are the dummies you've seen in CPR class, but these dummies have added weight to make them more lifelike. Some are 160 pounds, some 180. We are racing to get our victim out of the building before it collapses.
There are victims inside.
From 109.
Our captain, Taylorsville City Councilwoman Dama Barbour, tries anxiously to get our response. We're trying to bring the stretcher down the stairs.
Come on, you guys!
Patients bleeding from the neck has increased.
This is the type of scenario the Unified Fire Agency trains for regularly.
Okay, let's put him over there because they need the straps.
And now community leaders from Alta, Taylorsville, Granite, Midville, Riverton, and Magna are gaining a true appreciation for what they do.
We do need paramedics on the scene.
5 cities, 6 townships, and the unincorporated areas of Salt Lake County count on these firefighters in nearly any kind of emergency, whether it's fire or flood, a medical call, or a traffic accident.
Okay, so now you got your hole. So what you're going to do is flip this around. So you take your saw, put it in there like that, and just cut out the windshield.
In this scenario, a woman is trapped inside a car.
Just slam that spike in right into the meat of the tire.
We use the jaws of life to get her out. The jaws are 50-pound scissors and 60-pound pliers powered by hydraulics. And just lifting the tools is a challenge.
And go ahead and spread. Watch out. That door's gonna pop.
Unified Fire employs 431 full-time firefighters. 2/3 are also certified paramedics. They respond to more than 24,000 calls each year.
We've tried to give you a taste of all of the different disciplines that people might call on us to do.
They venture high and low, wearing 50 pounds of gear in both hot and frigid temperatures. That can mean climbing this 100-foot tall ladder in freezing rain.
Go ahead, go up and go to the left.
My husband goes first. He makes his way to the top of the ladder in clumsy boots and all the gear, step by step. He gets a bird's eye view of the valley from the top of the ladder, then has to make the precarious trip down. When you're watching the students go through the course like this, do you get nervous at times?
Yes, yes. When Terry and I were up on the ladder, and there was gets a little tight, a little tricky up top, we had to hook in for a minute and make sure he was okay.
Personally, it's a little bit higher than I feel comfortable climbing, so I get to ride in the ladder basket all the way to the top. Do nerves get to you at any point?
Not as much anymore. We just learn to be comfortable in the environment.
It is a little nerve-wracking.
That's it. We are 105 feet off the ground now. What a good view you have, though.
The mountains look really pretty from here. So from the highest perch to the lowest cavern, firefighters teach us how they train to find their way through a smoky building when it's full of obstacles. In real life, visibility can be so poor, the fire hose becomes their lifeline.
Make sure you stay on that same hose. There you go.
Finally, daylight. But I can't see. I'm crawling through this wet obstacle course with a mask over my eyes.
I would not want to be in a burning house full of smoke and have to crawl my way out. And I really admire what they have to go through, because that is a situation I wouldn't want to have to face.
You're almost there, Susan.
There are just a couple of casualties, my 2 boots.
It's Shoeless Joe Wood.
In Fire School 101, we learned firefighting isn't all about fighting fires. Last year, Unified Fire responded to more than 31,000 calls. Less than 7,500 were fire or explosives related. 23,000 calls were medical.
I actually learned how physically demanding that this job is and how hard that the firefighters work and how much training that they have to go through and how much commitment that they have to put forth to be professional and to be successful at this job.
But flames are indeed part of Fire School 101. A school bus at the firefighter training ground is engulfed in flames. A car has apparently slammed into the side of the bus, setting off the fire. Now, it's our job to put the fire out. The heat of the flames adds to the temperature inside of this heavy gear. Add the weight and the pressure of the hose, and it's a job for a team.
Are you tired? Exhausted.
How are you going to sleep tonight?
Like a baby. With a lot of Advil.
Time for a high-powered water fight. City leaders, at the end of the day, had a greater appreciation for all these men and women do to assure our safety. We were wet, tired, and a little scared at times.
Getting close to fire when you're in the dark and crawling on your hands and knees and trying to find your way and put yourself as it really would be if you were really in a situation, and knowing that you're really in a safe situation, but a lot of times they're not, so it's frightening.
And we learned when an emergency arises, we're in well-trained hands.
I think we're trained not to be scared. We're trained to think. If we stop and be scared, then we're not going to act. So that's a big part of our training, is to put us into really stressful situations and to get it dialed in then, so that when it does come for real, we don't think, we act. And we do it right the first time.
For the Utah League of Cities and Towns, I'm Susan Wood.